Hello students, I am Pushprata Miss. Welcome to my channel. I hope you all are safe at home. Stay home and stay safe. Today let us discuss about the essence of democracy. You have stepped into the middle school and there are a number of activity clubs that you can join such as sports, drama, debate or photography. While you can get membership to these clubs, you also need to select a leader or a captain for these clubs from amongst yourselves. Okay, how would you do it? You would probably nominate or select the one or two students who you think have the qualities of being good leaders. Okay, when a person's name is proposed, you may by a show of hands give your support to one of them. The one who gets the maximum support will be declared the captain. Okay, isn't that how you choose a captain or a monitor? Choosing leaders to govern a country is no different. Okay, first one, history of democracy. India, as we have learned, follows a democratic form of government. The word democracy comes from the Greek word demokratia, which means rule of the people. Abraham Lincoln described democracy as a form of government that is of the people, by the people, and for the people. India is the largest democracy in the world and follows representative democracy. Next, election process. When India adopted its constitution in 1950, women and men were granted equal rights to cast their vote irrespective of their caste or class. A class means no inequality in caste or class. The voting age in India was 21, which was changed to 18 in 1989. Means before 1989, the voting age was 21 for everyone, but in 1989 it has changed. 18 years old is a age of voting, thereby giving power in the hands of the youth to vote their representatives and bring them to power. Okay, next, election in India are held every 5 years. Okay, how many years? Every 5 years they are held at the state level and at the center. Different political parties approve the names of candidates who represent them and contest for elections from various areas called constituencies, means defined regions or district for elections for a candidate. Next, before the elections are held, these candidates canvass or campaign for their representative parties and posts. At school, if before the election of head boy or head girls, the students or the parties will come and canvass you in the class. Yes, like that. Before the elections are held, these candidates canvass or campaign for their respective parties and posts. They reach out to the people to gain their support by informing them about their future plans for the benefit of the people on the basis of the beliefs and principles of the political party and the candidate. The people vote for the candidate or party during the elections. Okay, the candidate who gets maximum votes from a constituency gets voted into power. The elections are held through a secret ballot, which means that the citizens have a right to vote for the candidate of their choice without any fear or pressure. Means it should be secret. Their vote is kept secret and anonymous. Means unidentified. The party that gets a majority of seats in the legislature is elected as the ruling party, and the leader of the ruling party is the prime minister. Okay, next, a party is voted into power for a term of 5 years. How many years the prime minister should be ruled? Only 5 years. during which the representatives are expected to do all that they had proposed before the elections. If they fail to do so, people will lose their faith and confidence in them and will not vote for them in the next elections. Therefore, it is the duty of the ruling party to keep the interest of the citizens in mind and do all that they can for their benefit. We must remember that with power comes responsibility and that the elected representatives are accountable to the people who have voted them into power. Means they forget about the people after the election. Execution of powers. Certain checks and balances have been worked into the functioning of the government. The government has three bodies, that is the legislature which passes the law, the executive which enforces the law, and the judiciary which protects and upholds the law. Okay. The legislative body comprises the president and the member of the parliament who belong to the Rajya Sabha or the upper house and the Lok Sabha or the lower house. The executive body is headed by the president as the nominal head and the prime minister as its real head. The president can execute his decisions only with the advice and consent of the prime minister and his council of ministers. The president advises the prime minister on matters of the state. The prime minister is also supported by his council of ministers selected by the prime minister from the parliament. Together, the prime minister and his council of ministers form the cabinet. The president is in turn kept informed on all important matters by the prime minister and his council of ministers. Next, the judiciary. The judiciary under the Supreme Court of India acts as the protector of the Constitution. The Chief Justice of India is the highest judicial authority. He is supported by judges who help him in guarding and upholding the law, keeping in mind the interest of the nation. The legislative body passes laws but is accountable to the Supreme Court of India. The executive which enforces the law is accountable to the legislative, means order by legislative. Any law which is against the spirit of the constitution may be declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. Each of the three bodies has a role defined for it and chances of violation or misuse of power are therefore less. Okay. Next, public opinion. The Constitution of India gives citizens the right to express their opinion through freedom of speech and action. People are free to express their views on issues in relation to governance and any other matters that concern them. There are many ways through which people can express their ideas. They do it through mass media, defined as a means of public communication that reaches a large audience. Print and electronic media are two major mediums of conveying people's opinions. Print media is something that carries news and opinions to people through the written or printed word. Electronic media is a means that carries news and public opinion electronically. Okay. Then role of media. The media in India enjoys total and complete freedom to present news and express their opinion on any subject. They have right to say their views and opinions. We learned that with power comes responsibility, and it is the duty of the media to be responsible and not misrepresent facts. Means tell lies or twist the truth. Should not say the lies. The media is the voice of the people and has a great responsibility to represent them fairly. They should not exploit their freedom of expression as they have the power to build and create public opinion. This is called responsible journalism. Next, other ways to express opinions are through peaceful demonstrations. Demonstrations means protest marches and public meetings where people can get together to express their views and opinions. Okay. Next, conflict. Reasons for conflict means quarrel. What do you do when you disagree with someone? You generally talk about it. If they still don't understand your point of view, then what do? You try to convince them to see things your way. Make them to understand. In the same way, when the opinions of people are different from that of the government, or if the people are unhappy with the decision of the government, they try to make the government see their point of view. India is a very vast country with geographical, political, cultural and religious differences. The needs and requirements of the people in different parts therefore differ. Means different parts is different requirements. That is why the governance in India is decentralized. That is, the governments of the states looks after the needs of people of their states. However, there are still times when the people are dissatisfied with the government or may disagree with its policies. This becomes a point of conflict between the government and the people. There are times when different groups or classes of people are in disagreement with each other because of social, cultural, economic differences. This becomes another reason for conflict. Okay, resolving a conflict. Conflict is good if handled peacefully. It should not be violent. It tells the government that people do not approve of its decisions or policies. It gives a platform to people to make their voice heard. The Constitution grants the citizens freedom of expression, under which they can hold peaceful demonstrations, rallies, and protest. It is only when a conflict becomes aggressive or violent that it threatens the peace of the nation. Conflicts can be resolved by expressing our views peacefully. If people feel strongly about an issue, they can garner public support and convey their views to the government and engage in peaceful dialogue, means peaceful words. They also have the freedom to approach the court of law with written petitions, means written complaints. Violence should never be seen as a solution to a problem. Next, equality and justice. Equality and justice are the guiding principles of the Constitution. India seeks to treat people equally, irrespective of caste, religion, or social stature. While the Constitution sees no difference in people and promotes democracy, which involves people in governing the country, it is the people who have to learn to be tolerant towards each other and not let differences of color, creed, and religion come in their way. The divide between the rich and the poor is very vast, and the gap needs to be bridged. Justice knows no social boundaries, and that has been proved many times in the past. Whether rich or poor, the law treats everyone equally. The Constitution treats every citizen equally and protects our rights. We need to educate ourselves and those around us to know our rights and stand up for them if they are violated. Okay, students, read 1 or 2 times this lesson, then you will get the information, good information. Okay, thank you.